Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. I showed you the bread that I had made. This is what you have witnessed, and all through the makings of this bread, I didn't do any measurements or anything like that. And I was like, well, who cares? It's going on my head. You know, if it was professionally made, it would be totally different. There will be measurements, there will be accuracy, and so I did that, and you're going to see a big difference. This here is done professionally. It's got the width and the length on each side, and putting it besides the non professional one, you can see the big difference between the two. And I was gonna make the twin for my own head, and when I test run it yesterday, I discovered that these are way too big to put in the side of my head. So I decided I'm gonna make a set of earrings to match this, and sell it as a complete set. And then I'm going to make another little one to match this one for myself. So this is what I had started on making the earring. And it looks pretty cool, nice and bling blingy. It'd be really, really cool for anybody that wants the set. So in order for that, this here is all I have prepared. So I'm not planning to be on very, very long. So as you just basically got to copy everything. So I got to put blue all the way around this stone. As you could remember, this here I was putting the beads sewn into the gem. And this here is not sewed into gem. This here is actually on the side. So the reason why I always have an issue with it is when you go like that, you could actually see the cracks of the side, and you can see what's underneath. And I don't. That's my big pet peeve. I don't like it. But like, who really goes and checks what's underneath anyways? So this here is the end result of this. So I'm going to put a layer of blue beads all around, and then I'm going to sew on the edge with rhinestones, and then I'm going to start with the edge, putting the beads, sewing the back on, and then the end result, once you're done with this here, then you sew on to cover up the sewing. There's going to be a little gap between the rhinestones and the edge beads. So in order to cover that up, you got to put a layer on that. When I left off, I only got as far as here before my camera went out. And when you put the edge on, you always have to put on a layer, one last layer, to cover up the beads. I hope I get a chance to show you that, and I don't know if it'll be on this time around. I'd be able to show you. I'm not sure. I'm suspecting it's going to be a couple of videos to do that, and I have to have this last set of beads for last set of earrings done by tomorrow, because there's a big competition powwow happening just down the road from me. And I'll put the rhinestones on the side. Oops, sorry about that. So how's everybody's day going so far? as you all know, like some of you already know, there's been a couple of new members since I've posted my last video. I am new to YouTube. I still have a lot to learn on the dynamics of being a YouTuber, and one of them is I haven't really taken time to research, or basically everything I have to learn is on my own terms. I can't really go out on a whim and try to whim it. I have to learn how to edit my videos. But I'm kind of glad that it's like this, because it's uncut versions. I really don't like the edit versions, because like I said in my earlier videos, is my biggest pet peeve is I would go on YouTube and I would find a video, and it'd be a fast beater nonetheless. I mean, obviously they're pretty experienced. When you first start learning something, it takes a long time to actually grasp and know exactly what you're doing. When everything's untouched territories, it's going to take you hours. So I went and built myself one of those, I don't know what the style of the beading is, but it was like a necklace that had many layers. And within 2 hours, she was like, the lady that I was watching on video, she was basically done. And within my 2 hours, I had maybe 1.5 inches done. And that frustrated me so much, and it made me lose my patience. I felt discouraged, And I was like, that's how that video made me feel. And I said, if I do a YouTube, it's going to be uncut versions, and it'll show you the reality of behind the makings of something. So I'm going to start off with making this video, and I'm having so much problems with my phone. I'm not sure when it'll be that I'll be able to buy myself another phone. But the issues I'm having with this one, I really do think that it's on its very last legs, that it's not going to last too much longer. I'm dealing with the phone that I have is a S5 Neo Samsung. Ow! And yeah, I'm not an iPhone person. I've been there, done that. I rather have another Galaxy. That's what I'd be shopping for next. So yeah, after this layer of blue that's going on, I'm going to be adding the rhinestones. And then I'd be sewing on the back piece onto the back of this earring, and then I'll be moving on to the next step, which would be this little sucker right here. I had to take breaks in between because look at my fingers, like they're so raw. And my thumb too as well. My phone is not focusing in very well. I think I should. There. I think that would be good. Trying to get it in that way. You won't be too far from the magic. So there's times when I get on and I start a video and I'm just quiet throughout the beading process. And that's what beading does to you. Like, it gets you into deep thought. It's kind of therapeutic. You can start thinking about what you have to do and what people, you know, like you come up with ideas, basically, all your ideas. And I try hard not to bring in politics with any of this because politics has nothing to do with beading. So I try to keep it as clean as possible. You know, for my beading fans. So this here is, I guess what they call a teardrop earring. I don't know the names of things, I just make them. Or maybe I'll just make up my own names. Like, call this a figamajigger. My figamajigger earring. My figamajigger ring. I do nothing but making figamajiggers. Oh, I hear sirens out there. I don't know what kind of noise you could hear in the background. I got a TV going. And when you're a YouTuber, you have to be cautious of what kind of music's being played, and because they have, Are you serious? Yeah, I guess they have issues with music being played, and you're not an owner of the music, and you know, so I have to be aware of that kind of stuff, and it makes it hard to sit here in total darkness and quietness. Like, I say darkness because all the lights around me they're off, and that's just so that to make this light on my phone brighter so I could see my artwork a lot better. I preferred beading in the dark, actually, and having a light just for the beads. It's like when you read, you have to have a certain kind of light so you won't hurt your eyes. Well, this kind of lighting is perfect. I think that's too close to the edge, so I gotta back up. And when you poke up your needle, you should be on the left side, the inner side of your beads, not the outside, because if you bring it up on the edge and then you put it in, you're going to notice one of your beads, the bead that you entered in, are going to be way out. And you don't want that. You would prefer them inwards than outwards. And then I come through and I kind of forward my thread, and when I forward, I can see exactly where it can go into. And if I went back here and I put the thread in, it'll show that it'll show where I entered the bead. My bead will be leaning forward a lot more, and I do not want that to happen. I want to try to finish as much as I possibly can so that I have to charge up the phone and then upload the video and then charge up the phone again and then come back and show the second half of the project. I'm assuming that it's going to take 3 takes in order to complete making this. Unless I become a very fast beater, which I'm not by any means. I am the slowest beater ever. And that's because with beading, you do have to walk away from your beads, especially if nothing ain't going right. And that happens to me. I'll start beading and I'll start having issues. I have to put the beads down and walk away from it because it gets me so mad. And if I go into it very aggravated, it'll show in my work. And then when I go to sleep, wake up the next morning, I look at the artwork, I end up 9 times out of 10 tear it all apart because it shows in my work how bad it is, and I'm not liking it. Believe me, I tear my projects apart over and over and over again until I feel like it's okay, because I don't want to represent something and half done job, like, and if I do, I sell it at a cheaper price. Like, it'll be almost like a really good deal. I did these pair of earrings and they were so messy. I was too embarrassed to even show them, but this lady loved them, and I sold it to her for $20. Some of my earrings are like, just the earrings alone are $35. Okay, so that looked good in the third bead down. This is what I'm not agreeing with this. I have to make sure my stoop is in the right place. Even sure if it can go in here like this. Oh, perfect.
Well, I already missed Barbecue, and I'm really gonna miss Chad when he goes. I warned you not to get too attached. And I tried, but I don't know how you stand it. I don't stand it back. It's part of the work business. But you know what the good thing is? You just say hello just as often as you say goodbye. So it kind of balances that, right?
I come back.
Hey, Jack. What will be coffee by?
Well, what I'd really like is a stiff drink. Well, I guess I'll settle for coffee.
I get too used to this personalized service. It's my last day.
Okay, so now that the ring around the gem is on there, okay, I'm gonna poke this out there like this and see.
Valerie, everybody's got regrets.
There.
You get to my age, you realize what you end up regretting aren't the things you did. They're the things you didn't.
So you're saying I should go to Paris with Jake?
Paris? With Jake?
It's not what you think. We're friends, buddies, BFFs.
It might be that way right now. But things change. Especially when you're thousands of miles from home.
There. So now we're on the road with the rhinestones.
There's still a seat available, just like
Everything's changing, nothing wonderful. Oh, I must be getting soft in my old age. What are you doing here serving me coffee?
At some point I'm going to have to change the threading on this because the thread I got on there is not going to reach all the way around.
coats the brush bar. Carbon fiber filaments remove fine dust, and stiff nylon bristles dig deep into cardboard. It's got twice the suction of any other cordless
Ow.
vacuum. It makes deep cleaning so
Poke
easy.
my thumb.
Shop direct at DysonCanada.ca.
If you're a homeowner age 55 or older, you can get up to 55% of your home's value in tax-free cash without having to move or sell.
Not too often am I able to get it in the middle
If you're 55 or
and then sew outwards.
you can access up to 55% of your home's value in tax-free cash. You don't have to sell, and there are no monthly mortgage payments. Call 1-833-513-2447 to get your free, no-obligation guide to the chip reverse mortgage.
You can stay in the home you love and have the freedom to live retirement your way.
A chip reverse mortgage has helped thousands of Canadians turn their home into tax-free cash.
It's hard sometimes to bead with rhinestones because
If you're 55
you basically have to feel around with your needle, and coming up directly behind one of these could be a really bad thing because it will pop that rhinestone right out of there. And you could be almost finished and that could happen, and believe me, you don't want to have that to happen because you'd have to start all over. You have to take it off and start all over from the start. Under pressure.
Can your hair survive damage? Dove Intensive Repair Conditioner proves it can. We treat one brush with Dove conditioner and expose both to heat styling, to bleaching, and even coloring. The difference is clear.
I put it in the middle
Dove
and I
is
try to
smoother and protect it against damage.
sew it inward so that it's like closer to the gem as much as possible. Ow.
Since one conditioner doesn't fit all, Dove Ultra Care Conditioners.
This is our wild-caught cod burger. Thank you, sir. Oh, that's really nice. It's really good.
It's really fresh, it's flaky.
The creaminess of the coleslaw, the crispy of the fish.
Okay, so I'm very close where I'm going to have to change the threading.
For a limited time only.
Watch the game from your garage.
Weather's starting to get warmer out there, and I won't be here on the weekends if I'm out powwow trailing, which is not going to be too much because a lot of the powwows that are happening are too far away and I don't have wheels to get to them.
Before you reach for a pill, try Flonase Allergy Relief. Like some pills, Flonase finishes the job and relieves more than nasal congestion. It relieves all your worst allergy symptoms, including itchy, watery eyes and sinus.
And that totally sucks because I have a little dog, and when I go away, I don't want to be gone all weekend. I'm very protective of my little dog. I love her to death. She's my precious, my pride and joy. I love her so much. Her name is Big Mama. She keeps me in really good company. She's such a good dog.
But that's impossible. She would have said something.
Yeah, I was just talking to her yesterday, but not about Europe. It was about Maggie's and Jake.
And, oh my god, I
Okay.
basically told her to get out of town before it's too late.
All she had to do was hit a couple buttons on her computer and she was booked on a flight to Paris. Just like that.
What time is she leaving?
Well, I think she's on her way. She's probably at the bus station now.
What happened to 2 weeks' notice?
Does it matter? Oh hell, I'll wash dishes and serve tables if you need me to. Just don't look nowhere while I know you are.
You know what, Grandpa, if you really want to help, maybe you can handle bathroom duties. After all, she was on your watch when she swallowed the penny. You should deal with the consequences.
Okay, okay.
Ow.
Come on, Katie. You want to take a ride on a porcelain pony?
I'm watching Heartland if you're
You didn't get to say it properly.
wondering. I love Heartland.
Send a text. Yeah, but that seems so easy.
So if you have any questions or ideas, feel free to send me any information that you want, or you want to ask a question, you can comment right down below. And if you want to send me something, my address is listed below in the description. Feel free. My biggest goal right now is to get enough YouTubers that would subscribe to my channel, because I really want to see if I can get this on the go. I had this idea since last year, and I just became a YouTuber, and about a month after becoming a YouTuber, they changed the rules. So now, it used to be if I wanted to make a live video event, it didn't matter how many subscribers, but now they changed it, and I have to have 100,000 or more in order to do a live event. So I think that's so unfair. They're not thinking about the small YouTubers like me. I only got like 34 subscribers, but you know, if you like and share and comment, I think that might help some. You share the word that I'm a new YouTuber, and I don't like editing. I like to have raw footage. I'm gonna tie it off right here, so I need new.
You okay? You always set me next to a note in the hairdressers always. I was out to get attention round there.
Already 27 minutes in. Wow.
Around 4 times further away than we can. And the bit of the brain that interprets smell is 40, that's 40 times larger than us. There you go. Didn't know that, did you? And this week,
Yeah, when you thread enough, you have no problem threading a needle that quickly. That was just pure luck. I kind of made myself look like more than a professional. Sorry for hitting the stoop.
I'm lost for words, I'll be honest, and that doesn't happen all the time. And I'll learn that the public prefer a cute puppy more than they prefer me in a tuxedo. I'm gonna get out of here alive. Well, I suppose that one was obvious, wasn't it? The first time I met these 9 Jack Russell and Staffy cross puppies, they definitely made
I always put a double knot in there. Okay.
They're all being hand-breeded by Battersea staff, and that means bottle feeding every 2 hours. They're now nearly 4 weeks old, and the 3 of them are in today with their foster mums, Rebecca and Emma. Oh, look at these.
Happy with that location.
Oh, how are they doing? Pretty good. Sweethearts, look at you. You got your eyes open. Aren't you sexy, eh? Yes, you are. Aren't they lovely? These pups have just got their sense of smell, and their eyes and ears are opened. I've turned up at exactly the right moments, because they're about to start the weaning process and try solid food for the first time. What's that? Go on.
When I got my dog home for the first time, she was so tiny, she fit the palm of my hand. And I was like, oh, I never had a dog so small. Now she's like 10 pounds. She's a full-grown Pompoux, part Pomeranian, part Poodle mix. And she looks more Pom than anything. I was at my son's apartment and I allowed her to walk down the stairs, and he lives way up on the 4th floor, so we had to go down many stairs. Ow. Had to go down many stairs, and I let her go down the stairs by herself, and it seemed like every time she got to every landing, she stood there and waited for me. She turned around and watched me come down the stairs, and when I got down to the very end, then she knew it was alright to go down the next set of stairs, and she sat there and waited for me. My son was amazed. He goes, "My gosh," he goes, "you got her trained." And I'm like, "Didn't really have to." I said, that just happened by chance. Oh, my fingers, I'm sore.
She's been named Amber. Vet nurse Nikki doesn't have any information about her past. She was found on the streets and brought to Battersea by a good Samaritan.
Yeah, she's generally quite dirty and the wounds are quite infected, so we've got her on course of antibiotics. I'm just going to try and clean her as much as possible. She's very nervous, so it's a case of going very slowly and lots of ham.
Amber has lots of old scars too. The staff suspect she's been used as bait for fighting dogs. Because she's so wary, behaviour specialist Helen is looking after her. Amber's anxious around dogs, and if she feels threatened, she could lash out.
Don't look at us. Wow, it's on Ambers.
So Helen's taking things very slow.
Hi, Paul. You're okay to come in?
Okay with me?
Yeah, but just don't try and touch her or anything at the moment. We're just going to ignore her and let her come over when she's ready.
Hello, sweetheart.
Just crouch down.
You having a good sniff at me? Oh,
Yeah, have a little sniff around. She's quite worried, so she just...
don't be
She likes to investigate you in her own time.
If Amber was a bait dog, it's no surprise that she's nervous. Although dog fighting is illegal in the UK, it still happens. Bait dogs are tied up so they can't escape, and then used by fighting dogs for practice. Heartbreaking, isn't it?
You don't really know what to say, do you?
No, I find I'm lost for words, I'll be honest, and that doesn't happen all the time. I just find it, I don't know how anybody could do this. It will take time for these physical scars to heal, but her psychological scars will take even longer. Helen will have to slowly build up her confidence.
This is the place where good ideas
Means you're outside.
get great opportunities.
I would invest in you in a heartbeat.
Dragon's tonight at 8 on CBC.
You really think it's true about a secret lab under this room?
Guys, I think I found something.
Because I look good, don't mean I'm not bad.
Personal Best is back. It's a self-improvement show that helps us help you help yourself. Self-improvement
Oops.
is hard. It doesn't always work out. Self-improving is good, but self-improvement culture is never lose track.
You always want to keep a track on the back, too.
Brightest lays have so many flavors.
I don't know how many times I've...
Because sometimes you feel a little salty. I just bought something, but didn't say thank you.
I can't remember if I went in.
And sometimes you
I'm
feel a
gonna...
little playful.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I'm too focused on the front
Curious side.
and notice that there's a big mess in the back.
It's a technical term. Because we're all more than one flavor, and this flavor is all about
And that's from not keeping track, and you'll have knots where you don't really fully sew the whole thing down. Ow.
Brands you trust.
Oh, my finger is getting sore.
Cast their votes in the 2019 Reader's Digest Trusted Brand Survey. From consumer packaged goods to insurance companies and Canadian retailers, Canadians have spoken. Visit trustedbrands.com brands.rd.ca for the full list of winners. Hot weather this year, you'll be turning on the AC to cool your family down. So help improve the indoor air by changing your HVAC filter. Filtrete filters with exclusive 3M filtration technology help capture the small particles others can't. Filtrete, let's clear the air.
If you're a
Fricker.
55 or older, you can get up to 55% of your home's value in tax-free cash without having to move or sell. What do you say? Indoor
35 minutes in. Oh
If
my
you're
gosh.
55 or older and own your home, you can access up to 55% of your home's value in tax-free cash. You don't have to sell, and there are no monthly mortgage payments. Call 1-833-513-2447 to get your free, no-obligation guide to a chip reverse mortgage.
You can stay in the home you love and have the freedom to live retirement your way.
A chip reverse mortgage has helped thousands of Canadians turn their home into tax-free cash while still owning their home, and there are no monthly mortgage payments. If you're 55 or older and own your home, call 1-833-513-CHIP. That's 1-833-513-2447 for your free no-obligation guide to a chip reverse mortgage. Call CHIP today and live retirement your way.
40% off paints and stains, right? Yes. Well, you know what they say? The early bird gets the best paint.
Get 40% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $27.83, June 21st through July 8th. Only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
What a time it is. 35 minutes go by fast. Okay, one of these has got to work. There we go. I'm almost towards the end.
Clean your leg.
I'm a dreadful downpour, and I love open sunroofs. So get off stage.
Megan is everywhere. Took it enough.
Alright, so
Game all the way home. Download the latest apps.
the problem is coming towards the end on this is knowing exactly how much rhinestone you're going to need, because you don't want to clip off anything too prematurely because you might not have enough rhinestone to fit all the way around. And in this case, my finger keeps nabbing on the back and it's becoming annoying. But I want to show you. Okay. Okay, so here is the very last sewed in part, which is right here. Okay. Alright, so this is how I have to, I put it in through the middle, and then I angle towards the end at an angle. And the only reason why I'm doing that is so that I can push the rhinestone inwards. Okay.
Very gentle. Very lovely.
Diane wants to give him a new life in Surrey.
Yeah, he's perfect. Oh, just amazing.
There.
But wouldn't you know it? Her flat is at the top of a big flight of stairs. So he really needs to overcome his
Alright, so I went on the outside, which means I can go on the inside. And again, at an angle. So that's where it ends right there for me. There might be a little overlap, but that's okay. As you can see in this one, there's an overlap, and you want that. You don't want to have it way out here and there be a big old gap. So, alright, so now it's at 40 minutes, so I'm going to have to let it go right here. What I'm going to do is cut out a piece of the purple suede, and I'm going to clip this down, get it ready, and then when I come back, you're going to see me sewing the back onto this and adding the edges at the same time. Alright, see you soon.